Okay, so I think so. The data so the headline data was published, and then they had some detailed data in one of their R&D days, kind of a couple of years ago. But essentially, it looked fairly consistent with the headline data. So it was around.
Is that something that's available? Is that something that is publicly available, or is that?
It's on the website, so there's like a presentation. It's not a peer-reviewed journal, but it's on the website.
On the website for Cosmo Pharmaceuticals?
Yeah.
And it's okay. I mean, I see their pipeline, and I see a few paragraphs about their results. Is that what you're referring to?
So it's if you go to kind of the investor section, and it's and you go on presentations and you search by 2016, they held an R&D day in November, and it's contained within that presentation slide deck. But it's just kind of going through the intention to treat and the per protocol analysis and showing how it differed, etc. But in essence, it ranges from an 18% to 20% relative benefit over standard white light, depending on how you cut the data. But the main headline was a 17% benefit. So is that something?
That number is a little misleading. And
okay.
It took me looking carefully at the data that I found from the FDA in the U.S. or whatever it is, the clinical trials. NIH, I guess, requires all clinical trials to be registered. So I went to there to find this data because it's not in peer review format, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Behind, but I did pull up that presentation here, though it's not. So I'll take a look at that if I can get it up. You have to register and whatnot. But anyway, the 17%, I think it's a bit misleading the way it's as you put it, it's a relative.
Yeah, I think it's like a 9% absolute benefit or something like that.
Right, which probably the number that most people would want to know. In other words, if you ask me, hey, there's this pill you can take, and it improves the ability to identify adenomas in the colon, I would want to know of patients who got it versus didn't, and how many percentages, what percentage of them had adenomas versus the percentage in the standard group, and subtract the standard group from the chromodoscopy group, and the absolute, the absolute increase in adenoma detection. Because using the relative number is a bit because if you tell me 9%, I would say, well, that's not a huge percentage. I mean, it may be, but the question is it, is it clinically relevant? That's an open.
And so, in your opinion, is that clinically relevant? Because I saw an NEGM article that suggested around a 1% improvement in ADR is almost a 3% improvement in I think interval cancer. Is that not a clinically meaningful result?
Okay. So, I mean, first of all, interval cancers are a rare occurrence. So, although the concept of an interval cancer is the worst possible scenario for us as gastroenterologists, which is that we do a colonoscopy and we don't find anything, or we take out some polyps, and then within 3 years, the patient gets a cancer. So the cancer rates are very low. So a 3% improvement it's the same central problem, which is that it sounds like a lot, but it's still a very rare event. I mean, just to give you context, I mean, my entire 10+ years of practicing gastroenterology,